Good morning, this is Llanos. I'm the managing broker of 24-hour real estate. We have offices. We help people to buy, sell, and lease real estate in Dallas, Texas, and Chicago, Illinois. We have teams in both cities, and we're always ready to help. Today, I want to talk to you about inflation. Inflation is the continuous increase of prices within a certain time frame, right? So if you used to buy lumber, used to buy a piece of wood in Home Depot for $10, let's say, now the same piece of wood next month is going to be $12, $15, right? So we got a case that prices went really high. Right now they came down a little, but still they're pretty high. That increased construction costs, and that determines that housing is more expensive, renting is more expensive, new construction is more expensive, right? So we know that. So that's in one end. So the other thing that is happening right now in the economy is that the current regime, the Biden administration, is printing happily a lot of currency. So we want to understand how that works and how that affects us. So let's say that you have, the way that the economy works, let's say that you have goods and services, and that's $100 equivalent, right? So you have 100 goods and services in a very simple economy. If you try to tie it up, the Fed, it's gonna issue $100 bills, so you can have a parity of $1 per product, right, per good and service, and you have 100 in your balance sheet, in your, let's say, your general ledger, 100 here, and on the other side you have $100 bills, so it matches, right? The problem comes when all of a sudden you start printing more than 100. So let's say you print 200, 300, 500. So what happened, that's called inflation, because now instead of having $1 chasing one product, now you have $5 chasing that product. So if before you needed $1 to buy that product, now you need $5. That's called inflation. So when people see and they say, oh, you know, there's this so-called infrastructure bill where they want to spend $3 trillion in the economy. Well, first of all, it's not an infrastructure bill, because I think it's only 5 to 10% that really goes to roads and bridges. Everything else is a bunch of other expenses. But now you have a lot of dollar bills chasing the same number of products. So if before you have $3 chasing 1 gallon of milk, right now you're gonna have $6 and you're gonna have $9. And that's a big problem. You need to increase your output, you need to increase your economy to have that type of printing. Okay? So that's problematic. So I think inflation is coming. We are very familiarized in other countries, like I'm originally from Peru. And we used to have hyperinflation. So during the period of 1985 to 1990, in my mother country, the president used to, we call it the little machine. So he started printing and printing bills. All of a sudden, the purchase power of the population, so the amount of goods and services that they can buy got decreased dramatically. And that was a big problem, because now I remember my dad used to own a hardware store. If he want to buy a hammer, right now he needed to use 100 soles. The day before, the hammer cost 10 soles. That's a hyperinflationary environment, really bad. Okay. So let's be pragmatic. We're going to have a few more years of this government. Hopefully someone else is going to come and is going to change things, is going to clean the house. But there's going to be more printing. They believe that because the US has this status of world currency, you know, they can print as much as they can with no consequences, which is a total lie. Okay, there's always consequences. People in the world are watching what the US is doing. And guess what? They're not going to take it, because basically the United States is not producing enough products. They get them from different countries, and now we are paying them with dollars, you know. But there's a point that they're going to realize that this thing is not going to work long term. And in reality, they're just giving us we're giving them goods and goods, products from China mostly, and they're just giving them dollars, and they're going to stop doing that, and then we're going to collapse. Okay, so that's the end game. So what do you do in between? So what should I suggest from a pragmatic point of view that you should do to protect your family, yourself, of this madness, of this monetary policy that is just insanity? You need to buy tangible. You need to buy two types of assets. You need to have two types of assets. The first type of asset that you need to have are tangible assets. Tangible assets are things that are real. If you buy real estate, then you have, there's no more real estate built in this planet. I'm sorry, there's no more land in this planet that you can acquire. There's houses, basically just imagine a tide and a boat in a tide. So, at 11 in the morning, you have a ship, right? And, when the tides go up and down, the ship floats and go up and down. So those type of assets you need to buy. You need to buy real estate, you need to buy gold, you need to buy silver, but even things that are gonna hold the value, that they're proving hold value. Like I was checking the price of baseball cards, for instance. I was checking the price of wine, like old wine. Used cars are at an all-time high. I'm not saying that you buy used cars. I'm saying, there's certain cars that they are gonna increase their value with time. I buy guitars. I remember I used to be able to buy American Fenders, Stratocasters, Telecasters for $600, and right now the minimum price is $1,500. So they went really high. Good stuff, like good tangible value, keep their value. Same with gold, same with silver. And I clearly I sell real estate, and I'm in the business, and I hold a number of properties because they do not only appreciate with time, especially in times of uncertainty like this, but they also provide cash flow, and that's the second portion that you should buy. You should buy businesses that they're constantly producing cash flow. So what happened with inflation is, like, let's say if you own Dunkin' Donuts, or if you own a different type of franchise, you're just gonna adjust prices, and like the tide, you're gonna go up, and you're gonna be, collecting money and keeping your cash flow. Okay, so there's an inflationary scenario, unfortunately, because we have horrendous monetary policies. There's really bad people advising the administration, and they believe that they could just print money and just live like that forever, right? Like those crazy people that think that you can live with the credit cards, and then after you maxed out this one, just change the bank and keep changing banks. Well, that's always an end game, and they never ended up in a good way, okay? So my suggestion to you is we have that type of people ruling our country now. Protect yourself, buy real estate, buy gold, buy silver. Make sure that your money doesn't decrease with value with time. Like if you have money sitting in the bank, what's going to happen is that your purchase power is going to be decreasing with time, and you have to protect the purchase power for you and your family. My name is Llanos. I'm the managing broker of 24-Hour Real Estate. We help people to buy, sell, and lease in Chicago and Dallas. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel.